Don't you think you're being a bit greedy?
Greedy? Why, Martin, you know where I come from, they haven't even heard of the word.
Philip Van Leyden gave you everything. No woman, despite her beauty or her talent, deserves that from two men. Ah, Kennedy. Adrienne Van Leyden, William Kennedy.
Now, what's this all about?
I want you to draw up a trust agreement. It must be completely and clearly separated from my will. Mrs. Van Leyden will be the beneficiary. Well, write it down, Kennedy. I don't want to repeat it. I want it to be revocable during my lifetime, irrevocable after my death. Adrienne, that means that...
I should behave myself.
That Stephen and whoever contests my will cannot contest this agreement.
Lovely.
What shall we assign to this trust to assure Mrs. Van Leyden a substantial annual income? William?
How much thought have you given to this?
I don't want to discuss it.
I think we should.
Shall I leave?
No.
Yes.
How far did you get with your objections to my will?
Martin, I was hoping...
Draw up that document. It's an order.
Well, you could assign the Hartford property, I suppose.
And how much will that bring in annually?
Between $30,000 and $50,000.
Is that adequate?
Anything you say, Martin.
Fine. I want you to be my trustee.
I can't be.
And why not?
It can be argued that Mrs. Van Leyden's interests and yours don't always coincide. As your attorney, I owe my loyalty to you. Now, she's to be the sole beneficiary of this trust, and I'm the trustee.
As trustee, you'd be serving my interests. In fact, it would be an act of loyalty if you would accept this appointment.
On one condition.
Namely?
That Mrs. Van Leyden foots the bill in case I'm sued.
I should be delighted.
You're both mad.
Well, that's no concern of yours.
It might become one. By the way, Mr. Grayson's partner is outside. Do you want him sent in here?
If you please, Kennedy.
The letter, Martin. You promised the letter would be part of the agreement.
So I did. Forgive me, Adrienne. It slipped my mind.
Mr. Peyton, these are the best I could find.
Well, thank you, Chambers. My taste is a bit old-fashioned. I think you'd better select your own engagement ring.
Emeralds? Why emeralds?
Because I like emeralds. And they're just as expensive as diamonds, my dear. Besides, they're the color of your eyes. That makes them much more romantic.
Read, I'm closed. Who is it?
It's me, Ada. I got that pack of cigarettes. Don't you remember, Ada? I walked right through that door telling you I was going to get a pack of cigarettes. So it took me 18 or 19 years. I wouldn't have made such a racket, but I thought you must have changed the lock by now.
You.
Ada. Well, you, really haven't changed much of anything, have you? Same tables and chairs. Same little old beer barrel. And the same seascapes on the wall. Well?
Don't touch me.
I guess I don't deserve much understanding.
I hope you get what you deserve someday.
Maybe I have.
Still in one piece.
Don't judge a book by its cover, baby.
That's one lesson I already learned from you, Eddie. All that phony charm and... Skip it. It's an old song.
Would you believe me if I said I'm sorry?
You would have the nerve to ask me that. Hey. Hey, you're off limits now.
Well, it's my home, Ada. New chair, huh? Comfortable. Well, I guess I was kind of stupid to think it could be any other way. What about the kid? Is she all right?
Don't, Eddie. She's got a good life for herself now. Don't mess it up.
Well, I want to see my daughter.
She was... married, moved away.
Oh, Ada. Did you ever know me to move into anything without checking it out first? I know that she's married to one of Les Harrington's boys, and I know that she's still around town. Just tell me where she is. Hmm? If you won't, somebody else will.
You're not moving into anything.
No, just a figure of speech, baby.
Leave Rita alone.
Well, I told you. All I want to do is see her.
She's sick. She's got a bad heart, and if you show up all of a sudden, the shock might be too much for her.
Ada, you can do better than that.
It's the truth. When she was little, she got sick, real sick, and I didn't have the brains or the money to get her into the hospital. It was rheumatic fever, and it did something
Ada,
for her.
baby, I didn't know.
How could you? You never even sent a postcard to ask how she was. You never even sent her a dime.
Baby, you must know by now why I had to leave.
I sure do. Took me 10 years to pay off all the debts.
Not even why I'm back?
You're not. You're just passing through.
Oh, no, baby. I'm tired of passing through places. I'm tired of buses and suitcases and wash and wear shirts. Baby, I'm back.
Eddie.
I missed you, Ada.
Stop it.
There never was anybody for me like you.
You shopped around enough.
Hey, you ever think of the times we had, though? Oh, boy. There was a stretch there when I didn't have much else to do but think. 5 years, as a matter of fact.
Should have been life.
I got out for good behavior. Ada, there was one other thing I checked out before I came back. You never filed for divorce. That was kind of touching.
Yeah.
You're still my wife.
For me, you've been dead for years.
So, welcome me back to the living. It's a cold night, baby.
Not cold enough, baby.
I was wondering, do you think my daughter will throw me out, too?
Stay away from her.
Oh, I'm going to see her, Ada. And if you think it'll be too much of a shock, why don't you prepare her?
Don't you understand?
I understand. And I think it'd make it a lot easier on everybody if you had the whole family here sometime soon for dinner.
You're rotten.
It'd be like old times again, sitting down in the back room with Les Harrington. Only this time we'd have something bigger to talk about, something in common, huh? You set it up. I'll see you later. Sweet dreams.
Preview from the continuing story of Peyton Place.
I certainly have been fortunate. I have two healthy, intelligent sons, one of whom tries to blackmail me. The other forces who wants to turn me over to the police. I don't have to stand here and hear this.
The moment she walked into this place, you couldn't take your eyes off her. You still can't. She's not making a fool out of your grandfather. She's making a fool out of you.